Woo!
What'd you have on that?
Live croaker. Hey everybody, welcome to Bayou Beasts episode 3. So before I show you the rest of the video with that bull red run, I wanted to show you really quickly how I set up my leaders for, casting out big surf baits from the beach. First thing, Palomar knot, always, my knot of choice if I can. And then go into a heavy duty swivel with ball bearing, which is my preference. And then so here I have 90-pound AFW Surflon wire. So this stuff is awesome. This one's a bigger one. This is 135, but you can just order it online or wherever you find it, but it's pretty cheap. The best part about this stuff is that you can actually tie a snell knot with this wire because it has a nylon coating on the outside. So I'm going to show you how I tie that knot real quick. But first thing, so then I've got, for the surf, the reason I have such a long leader with, catching these reds is because I'm going to be using a sliding weight like usual, but a surf weight. So, for example, this 6-ounce spider weight here is going to be hooked on with a clip sinker slider. And so this is just the beginning of my leader, okay? So, let me stand up real quick. Alright, so this is the entire leader. It's about 4.5 feet long. And the reason for that is that when I cast this out, first thing, I guess, is when I cast it out, I'm going to have it pulled up here. This is the end of my rod. I'm going to take this bait and I'm going to try and hook it on here after I have it hooked. So that way it'll be a little bit shorter. And a good trick for doing that is having one of these ends kind of curled up like that, because you're going to have your bait hooked and then like this. And so when you launch it, it'll be shorter, easier to cast out further, and it'll come, well, when it hits the water, it comes undone. But anyway, so you cast this out, and as soon as you cast it, it's going to go, and the waves are going to be pulling it back and forth, back and forth. You want to make sure this weight digs in firmly into the sand. So what you're going to do is you're going to cast, and you're going to wade out or whatever, and then you're not going to set the drag and reel in, because if it's too strong a tension, it's just gonna unlatch it from the bottom. It's not really gonna stick. So my personal preference for doing this is when I cast out, I leave it to open free spool, and then I just put my thumb on the line, but I kind of lightly just tap it as I walk it back and just kind of wait till I feel it really get snug into the sand. And from there, I make sure I don't pull it out of that snug spot, because it will work its way and be firmly planted, and that's what we want this weight to do, and I'll explain that in a second. So once I get that weight snug down to the sand, I just walk the rod and reel back into the shore by having it free spool and just have my thumb on, applying tension the entire time, but not enough to move the weight out of the sand, just enough to make sure it doesn't get enough slack to drift off somewhere, because then it'll just keep tumbling around. Okay, so now envision that our weight is firmly planted on the sand, and we've got, hopefully, I think my personal favorite bait for reds is like a live croaker or a mullet, where I cut the tail off and maybe about 1/2 inch of the actual flesh after the fin on the tail, and that way the fish, just kind of bleeds a little bit and it's still alive for a while. And then as far as hooking it, I hook it right below the dorsal fin, and like I showed you in another video, I hook it forward and towards the front of the fish at an angle, so that way it won't come down, and I always have a lot of hook exposed. That way there's more room for that fish to get hooked up. So we've got our bait here, he's kind of swimming around, bleeding a little bit, our weight is firmly planted, and then on the other end, we've got our thing here. So this is our rod on my left, and here's our bait. So it's just kind of cruising like this, chilling. So then say the red comes over here and just snaps this. So there's gonna be a little bit of slack, and then boom, he's gonna hit where that weight meets the swivel, and because it's planted into the sand, that's almost gonna be the start. That's gonna be the start of your hook set right there. So you really don't have to yank back on these guys because they've already done most of the work. Because when they hit it hard, and they're pulling this 6-ounce weight out of the sand dug in, and then there's 100 yards of line out. They're putting some tension on it, so you want to make sure you don't pop the hook out by setting it too hard. And so then once he's on there, you just tighten down your drag and go for it. I'm just going to show you really quick how easy it is to tie a snell with this wire, and then we'll get back to the video of the fish. So here I've got I think it's an owner tournament circle hook, and then this is that AFW surf line, 90 pound. I'm gonna put my line down through the hook, and then I'm gonna tie probably 7 wraps, and I do it away from me. And this is just a really basic snell, but the really awesome thing about this wire is that you can do this because you can't do this with other wire. It won't grip to itself and make a snug fit, but this nylon coating really does the trick, and this is what I prefer to use for all my heavy leaders. So then you just push it back through the top of the eye like so, and then you have your knot. All right, and then so yeah, from our swivel, so we've got hook, another 20, probably 24 inches of leader there to our hook, to a swivel, then a bead, because you gotta imagine the, roughing up the knot there, or not the knot, but where the joint is with the swivel. You want to have beads on each side of this weight tied to another swivel, and then you are all good to go. So let's see the rest of that redfish and see how it turns out. Live croaker. Oh. That thing took it.
Yeah, there's no denying whether you got one on or not when you got one on.
Yeah. So I put out more drag?
Yeah, tighten down your drag a little.
Tighten or loosen it?
Tighten it.
I don't want to pop it out. I feel like it's in a good spot, maybe?
Yeah, tighten it up a little, and
I mean, I'm still pulling in on him.
you don't want him to.
There he is. Oh.
You don't want him to make.
You can see him out there. Look.
Yeah, I saw him. You don't want to give him a chance to turn and get off. Oh yeah. There you go, baby. Right at something. Right at the thing. Right into the light screen to come out. I'll go on that. That's what.
You got him? I'm not losing this fish. I'm gonna walk as far as I gotta walk. Dreams come true.
That's a beauty.
Oh man. Oh, he gave me a kick. Whew.
Yeah, like you got it on because he'll freaking grab it and start running.
Oh, look at that hook set though. Perfect.
There you go.
Oh man. Easy, big boy. All right.
You want me to grab a tape measure or something?
I'm gonna grab a measure and all that stuff. I just gotta rest my arm. Whew, you got me.
Yeah, maybe there's all. Well, I don't know if you want to put your hand in his mouth. They got pretty strong jaws.
Oh, move them away from
It's not
the.
like they got big teeth or anything, but
I lipped that flounder the other day.
if he closes down on your,
Oh, he'll break your thumb off.
it ain't gonna feel good.
Whew. That's a fish.
Hell yeah.
Oh. That is awesome, man.
Okay, I'm ready for mine now.
Yeah. You do you, man. I'm gonna hang out. I'm gonna chill. Oh, man, that guy torqued my arm.
You're not ready to run off with your flounders now, are you?
No, I'm gonna hang out a little bit longer. No flounder spot yet.
There's none of that little cat business why those suckers grab it and you give him a little bit of, you know, light drag so that he can run.
Yeah.
And then
Is that a thin nose?
yeah, I think so. What do you got there? Damn,
41. Almost, yeah.
Yeah, 41. Hell yeah.
That's a PB.
There you go.
Ah, man. What a fish. Oh, man. Oh. Let me rinse my hands off really quick, and then I'm going to take a few pictures myself really quick. The one with live croaker. The only one. Yeah. For sure.